let's apply the knowledge we got in the last tutorial. Let's look at classes and objects. Alright, welcome back to the Java introduction here for Minecraft and Hightail modding, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at classes and objects, and this time really applying the knowledge. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, the last tutorial, basically, because there I talk about a little bit of the theory behind classes and objects, and a few more things even, and I sort of hopefully make sure or make clear the distinction between a class and an object. Now, this is the first time that we're actually venturing outside of the sort of main window here, and we're going to the project window, and inside of our package, right, where our main class is, we're going to right-click New Java Class. So we're going to create a new Java class. This is insane stuff, and we're going to call this the dog class. Now, just dog here, and then hit Enter. The window here appeared because I have a GitHub repository associated with it. If you don't have that, that's totally fine. Then that doesn't pop up. Nothing to worry about. And now we have this public class dog. And once again, the curly brackets. So everything is going to happen inside of those curly brackets. And everything inside of those curly brackets is part of this class. So everything in here is going to be a member of this class. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some fields to it, pretty much exactly like we have seen in the previous tutorial. So we're going to have a public. This is all going to be public. For the time being, we're going to just take this in and I'm going to say, okay, public, fair enough, whatever. Doesn't matter what that means. We're going to see that in the next tutorial when I talk about access modifiers. And we're going to have a public string picture. So this just, say, for example, points to the picture. And then we have a public string, which is going to be the name. And then a public int, which is going to be the age. So let's add a comment here as well. So adding some fields to the dog class, right? So every dog that is going to be created is going to have a picture and a name and an age. So that's pretty cool. And we're all excited. So we're going to go back to the main class now, and we're just going to create a dog. So how does that work? Well, it works like any other variable. What is the data type? Well, the data type is dog. And you can see immediately, oh, it actually suggests this in my package. That's pretty cool. And we're just going to say, okay, this is the doggo. And this is equal to, well, what is it equal to? To a new dog. And then it usually, when you have put in new, and it generates the suggestion here, when we press the tab key, it generates the parentheses here automatically. Otherwise, you can, of course, also add them individually or manually, let's say. And now we have this doggo here. So that's interesting. But you know, we haven't really defined any age or anything like that. That is exactly right. So if we were to say system out print line and say doggo, right, we are calling this like a completely normal variable. For a time being, this might look a little bit weird because like, wait, dog? That's such a weird, you know, all of a sudden we're using a data type that we've created ourselves. Yes, that's the cool thing. Now we're really getting started with like some really cool stuff. And then we can call this completely normally like any other variable. And of course, we can also use the dot operator to now look at this: age, name, picture, and this F here signifies that this is a field. Okay, I really want to know, what is the name of this doggo? Let's just see. And the name of the doggo is null. Yes. So because this is, you know, nothing has been assigned here, we've only created those variables, this is going to be null. That's kind of a bummer. Now, why is that the case? Well, the case is because, first of all, we've been using the default constructor. So this is very interesting and a very crucial part of classes and objects. A constructor, I'm going to show you, is the following. So a constructor is basically this, right? We're calling the constructor right here. We're creating a new dog with this constructor. And the constructor, there is a default constructor that every class has, whether or not it's explicit or implicit. So it looks like this: public dog, so the name of the class, and then parentheses with nothing in them, and then in this case empty. This is generated sort of in the background, and this is literally what we're using. So if I were to middle mouse button click, you can see that this is being used right here. So the default constructor, I'm just going to write this in here actually, default constructor, this exists for every class that you create. Now, I could, in theory, add functionality into it, right? So I could say something like, let's just say name is equal to doggo. And now what would happen if I were to run this? all of a sudden, Doggo would be named Doggo. Because, of course, when we call this constructor here, when we create this, everything inside of here is being executed, including name equals Doggo. So putting the name variable to Doggo. This, of course, doesn't quite work because now if we wanted to create the two dogs from the previous example, right, Benji and Gracie, what would happen? Well, they would be called Doggo, which of course doesn't quite work. So what do we need? Well, we kind of need a constructor that we make ourselves. Okay, can we do this? Of course we can do this. So there's multiple ways that we can do this. I will write this out once, and then I will show you a great tool in IntelliJ that you will probably use every time. So once again, public, and then the name of the class, dog, and now this becomes a normal method, so to speak. So it is a little bit weird because the name and the return type are sort of the same, right? So the name is always the name of the class, and then the return type is, well, a new class. But that's pretty much it. We can put in parameters here however we desire. So what you're saying is I can put in something like the string picture, and I can put in something like the string name, and I can put something like the int age. Yes, I can do this. And as you can see, nothing to worry about, because now the method signatures of the constructors don't match. Therefore, this is being recognized as a new constructor. And now we're absolutely supercharging everything, because now what we can say is we can say this dot picture is equal to picture. So the first question that comes to mind is, what is this? This refers to the object that is being created, or that is created when we're calling this. What does that really mean? Well, we're going to see this in a moment as well. But once again, you have to think about it like the following way. We have the class dog, and then we have a object that is created. And this refers to the object where this is called on. Now, in the constructor, it's a little weird because when you call the constructor, the object is literally being created, but it refers to that object. So I'm going to show what this really means in a moment when we're talking about a particular method, when we're creating a custom method here. But for the time being, we're just going to say this.name equals name, and then this.age equals age. Now, the reason we have to specifically say this here is because the name of the fields and the parameters are the same. They don't have to be the same. They can also be something different. That's absolutely fine. Now, this is written out like this, and this is absolutely correct. This is definitely the correct custom constructor. But what I can also do is I can right-click right here. I can say generate, and then I can say constructor. And you can see if I now select all of them, right? So I can basically select the first one, hold shift, and then select the last one, say okay. Then it's going to also create a constructor with all of the fields, and it looks exactly the same like we have made it. So this is something I wanted to show you. It can basically auto-generate these for you. Really, really useful. So this is now to create a new object, right? We basically need a custom constructor. Because in this case, we actually want to specify the picture and the name and the age of the dog before, when we create it, basically. So let's do this. So let's create now a new dog. Once again, dog Benji, let's say, is equal to a new dog. And now what you can see if I stay into this, so if I actually put, okay, let's do this. There you go. Now you can see I can either put in no parameters or I can put in a string, a name, and an age. Interesting. So let's say benji.png. And then we're going to say Benji, and then we're going to say 7. Now, these things here, they generate automatically. This is basically the names of the parameters in this constructor, in this case, just so that you know what is this. Oh, this is the picture, this is the name, this is the age. And what I can do now is I can say system out print line, and I can say benji.name, and let's duplicate this and say benji.age as well. And let's see. So, what do we have? There you go. Benji and 7. So that's pretty cool, all things considered. And of course, I can do the same. So let's just copy the entire thing here. And this now is going to be Gracie. So let's also print out those here and change this to Gracie PNG. And then let's change this to Gracie as the name. And then the age was 5. Okay, fair enough. So that's actually pretty cool. So let's call this as well. And then you can see, even though this is also a dog, right? Now we have created a new object or a new instance, Gracie, and Gracie has different values in the fields. So while they are the same fields, right, we're still calling the name field and we're still calling the age field. They're of course different for the different object. And there's, of course, some other things that we can do, namely, let's create a new method. So, okay, so public, once again, we're going to ignore public for the time being, a void. We don't want to return anything. Woof. Why not? Why not make this woof? Sure, why not? And the woof will just system out print line, and it's going to output this dot name plus just woofed. Why not? Something like this. Now, once again, we're using the this keyword. Now, we don't actually have to use this. We can also just say name. I usually prefer to use this. It's just a personal preference. It's genuinely not needed. And what does this now mean? Well, once again, when we think about it, we're going to see the following. When I actually call this, I have to call this on a particular object, on a particular dog. So I can say Benji.woof, right? And then let's just copy this and say Gracie.woof. So the this in here refers to the object where this is called on. Meaning, when I call this woof on Gracie, this refers to Gracie. Hopefully that sort of makes sense. And then let's just call this. And as you see, Benji just woofed. And then Gracie just woofed. So that's actually really, really freaking cool. One last thing is we can actually modify fields. So Benji.age equals 10. Interesting. Okay, let's just copy this. Control-C, Control-V. And if I take a look at this, then you can see all of a sudden Benji has become 10 years old. That's not the best thing ever. Because let's just think about it like a little bit further down the line. You know, all of a sudden, we have like a person class with a social security number, and we can just change it. That's probably not quite what we want, right? So there, we really have to think about, wait, I don't think that this necessarily should be something that we can just change. Exactly, that's basically what we're going to see in the next tutorial as well. Because right now, everything is public here. And maybe we don't want that to be the case. But for the time being, this would be it for classes and objects. I highly recommend playing around with this. The entire code is, of course, available to you in the description below, GitHub repository, or individual gists as well. Otherwise, it will be this for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new. If you did, I would, of course, appreciate a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials just like this one. So, yeah.